Hey everyone, adakai TCG here, and I'm coming at you with some different type of content. I'm going to be talking about Dragon Ball Fusion World. I recently participated in a celebration event. I did go undefeated with Vegeta, which I'll talk about my deck profile shortly, but unfortunately there was two undefeateds, and because of the breakers, I did not get in first place, and so I did not get the Golden Goku and Golden Vegeta winner cards. But again, this deck did perform quite well. I would make a few adjustments to it after kind of seeing how it played against some of the meta decks. And yeah, before anything else, let me just go through what I'm running here. So I decided to go with Blue Vegeta because one, I expected to see a lot of Broly's, and Vegeta can inherently just buff himself up to 35k, which can swing into the 25k threshold that Broly sits at. Two, Blue feels like actually the most aggressive package to me, and so with the expectation to see a lot of green that likes to kind of play a little slower and ramp up, Blue felt like it could kind of rush them down before they can see the pieces that they need to really establish their late game. And yeah, it did just that. It did well against other colors like yellow and red as well. And so before I talk about my matchups, we'll go through this. One of the core engines that I'm running is the Goten Trunks Gotenks engine. And so you're running the one drop 15k Goten along with the Searcher, or not the Searcher, the Drawer Trunks as well. And then of course your two Self-Awakeners are your Super Saiyan Goten and Super Saiyan Trunks Youth. I am running more Self-Awakeners because this is a deck that really wants to hit that Awaken. I mean, I guess every deck really does too, but you especially want to hit it as early as possible so that you're swinging 35k as early as possible into your opponent and forcing cards out of their hands to kind of ruin their game plan. And so a lot of Trunks and Goten targets. We're even running the Trunks Youth blocker. And so there's a lot of targets for your Gotenks to pick up. And this is where it becomes important. So again, this package itself is very aggressive. You know, you can play the Goten even on one, swing 15-15. Oftentimes I would wait another turn and just play out a Goten or a Trunks Youth. Trunks Youth being able to go up to 25k is amazing. He's a 2-cost that can swing right into Broly without any further assistance. So that being itself is really cool, but then the fact that you're able to refish him out with Gotenks, whether to use it as more combo power or just to replay it and swing again for 25, it really pressures your opponent. And so again, I love the Goten Trunks package. I think it's really good in blue, but yeah, still gonna do some more testing with that. The 3-cost 20k Trunks Future on play allows you to take good life, so it does Self-Awaken you, but it also bounces back a 5-drop or 5-cost to your opponent's hands or your own hand too. And so this is a really flexible piece. Again, it can come out to set tempo. You're forcing your opponent to replay a card that they're trying to establish on their curve. Or even just bouncing back some key pieces, like you can bounce back your Gotenks if he's still alive, redrop it next turn to refish out another Goten and Trunks Youth. Blue deceptively has so many ways to draw cards, and it can go really high with very few cards in hand. And so we'll kind of go through the loops as well afterwards. But again, this Trunks Future, great card, running it at a 4 of. I am running 3 copies of this Goku blocker. What this Goku does is it's a 2-cost, 15k power, but if you have 7 or less cards in your hands, on your opponent's turn, it gains 10k power, which puts it at the 25k power mark, which makes it a little bit harder for any removal from, say, red. They have to actually put a little bit more effort into it, whereas some of these other low-cost blockers, like the Trunks Youth, can kind of just get arbitrarily removed. And so I do like that portion of the Son Goku, but honestly, I found myself putting this more so in my energy because anytime I was playing out blockers, I think I was in a losing position, and this deck again just wants to be hyper aggressive. This 4-drop Vegeta is goated. So if you guys don't know, it's a 4-cost 20k, which the stat line is not that great for the cost, but what it can do is restand itself. Even if you don't end up bottom decking a 1-cost card from your opponent, since it has the up to text, when you swing, it just restands itself for another 20k swing. So essentially you're swinging twice, hopefully taking 2 cards out of your opponent's hands, or helping you to clear a board, or anything of that nature. Peel off. So peel off is fantastic. In this deck, you're able to fish out your Goten, your Trunks Youth, and more importantly, your Final Hope Slash. And so, again, with this deck, you can go deceptively really high with very few amount of cards. And so what I would do sometimes is I would play out, say, like a Trunks Youth. I'd Final Hope Slash with it, so it would become a 45k, maybe combo out with a Son Goku to make it 50k. There you're forcing a super combo and 2 other cards from your opponent's hands. I would play Peel Off. I would grab back the Final Hope Slash. So again, that's 3 energy used total. I would swing with my leader after using his leader ability. You can Final Hope Slash again, bringing back that Trunks that was tapped after attacking. And so your leader can go 35k plus a 20k Final Hope Slash. Then you can also combo the Trunks that you just picked up from that was tapped previously, which makes it 65. And you can also combo out Peel Off to make it 75. And so again, that's 4 energy spent, or no, 5 energy spent at that point. But you're swinging really high numbers twice, and just it didn't take that much of a hand size commitment to it. And so again, you catch your opponents off guard. It's a little bit harder for them to calculate these, just how high you can go with this deck. And yeah, of course, I'm running 4 copies of Vegeta. This deck needs a boss monster, and the fact that it can bottom deck a 4-cost and has double strike. It's a really good closer card, especially if you can get to the 6 energy and combo with Final Hope Slash. Again, it'll help you seal games where your opponent's sitting at 2 life. The other event I'm choosing to run is Sinister Sickle. This does not do as much against the green matchup, but it helps a ton in the yellow and the red matchups. And so I don't think I would drop this number at all. I think 2 seems right, because you realistically want to see it once a game, and then you'll probably end up only using it once a game. And so yeah, this is the deck that I use. It's playstyle, you have to be really aggressive though. If you aren't being aggressive and swinging into your opponent's life, this deck just will fall behind, because we don't have the top end like green can establish. We don't go as wide as yellow can, and we don't have as much removal as red. And so what blue just does have is being able to recur our pieces and just keep tapping them right. And so yeah, this is the deck. Some other cards I may consider. So one of the cards that I do think would go really well into this deck is this Trunks Future. What he does is he's a 2-cost 30k stat line. So I do think he's also another really good candidate to place down, swing with Final Hope Slash, Peel Off Loop to put this back into my hands. With just that, it'll be a 50k swing, and I will get this back in my hands, a 10k combo, or to play again next turn. I think that's a really busted card, especially with the amount of aggression that we want to do with this deck. And the other card that I've kind of been trying to tech in is Gallican. I think this event is still one of the strongest events, where we are, one, able to boost up by 15k, but then also draw a card if we have 7 or fewer cards, which when you're playing blue the way it's supposed to be done, you almost always have less than 7 cards. And so this is another card that I'm trying to fit in. Some of the cards I may want to take out, let's see. Yeah, I may end up removing the Son Goku blocker, because again, Anytime where I found myself in a position where I needed to block, it was just stalling out the game for no reason. Like I was already going to lose that game, and so these are just some things to consider. But yeah, I just wanted to go over that. Yeah, so again, I ended up going undefeated with this deck. I faced a wide matchup spread with this deck. I think my matchups were Goku Universe 7, a Gohan, a Broly, and a Ginyu. But yeah, no, it was a really fun day. This deck performed way better than I thought it would, but it also felt like each game was kind of tight. And so I do think with some of the adjustments that I mentioned earlier, it may help the consistency of this deck. But yeah, I'm looking forward to introducing some more DBS Fusion Rule content. I do plan to play this game competitively as well, and so I'll be splitting my content with One Piece and doing more of that once OP6 comes out. But for now, I'll be dropping some more DBS Fusion Rule content. And if you guys haven't done so already, I do have custom leader cards that I've been making for DBS Fusion World. You can check them out on my website, www.adakai-tcg.com, and check those out. I do have a giveaway going on right now in a previous video as well, and so be sure to check that out. It requires you to be a subscriber, comment on the video, and then just like the post on my Instagram. And so, yeah, be sure to enter that. And yeah, thanks for listening, guys.